So it's mid-month 2020 and you probably had the best intentions for weight loss, for gym attendance, for sticking to a healthy diet, and a couple splurges later, you might be feeling like those holiday pounds are here to stay. But the truth, staying on a regimen is hard, especially when it doesn't come naturally to you, and there are temptations like sleeping in and cake eating and so much other Netflixing that is so not alignment with your goal, honey. And I'm here making this video because I want to help you create a healthy lifestyle that is both sustainable and realistic. Here's an example of realistic. You are probably never going to have an ass like Kim Kardashian, nor will you have skin texture like the woman on the front of a magazine. An example of sustainable, you will not kill yourself working on your body every day, nor will you constantly starve yourself to have a stomach like a bikini model. So in this video, let's talk about the 5 things you can do to stay motivated in 2020. In this video, you should expect some of my best personal training tips to stay on track towards your ideal health. And also, I have a freebie in the description below, a free thing that I usually give to my personal training clients, and more on that in a bit. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share the most important piece that will help you make the mental shift to building your best body. Okay, so 5 things. I'm going to start obviously with number 1. You've heard of fitness plateaus, right? You lose a bunch of weight, you lose a bunch of weight, you lose a bunch of weight, then you stop losing weight or you stop getting to your performance goals. And you're like, WTF, mate, I'm working out and eating right, but I can't seem to move the scale. Was that a good Australian accent? This is considering that your body is adapting. When you plateau, your body is adapting. And it generally takes around the 3 to 6 week marker to plateau. So after this workout program, you might see results at first when you start, but you wonder why the results stop happening in a certain amount of time. And this in of itself can be incredibly demotivating. And to stay motivated in the plateau, here is what I have for you. Switch it up. Switching it up is a surefire way to help your body continue making the adaptations that you want, namely weight loss and muscle gain. You will stay mentally engaged in your routine while staying motivated to make progress. So number 2, boom. A lot of people start the new year on a diet. Let me rephrase that. More than 50% of Americans start the new year on a freaking diet. And the deal is that any diet is not sustainable. Juice cleanses, keto, restricted dieting, it doesn't promote long-term success. What diet can you sustain and be healthy? You see, most diets promote an unhealthy relationship with food, be it binge eating and the mental feeling of shame and disgust, and then more restriction or binging when you fail, and you will fail. But here's the thing about diet too. You want to have a diet that you love. For example, in 2009, I was an elite bikini competitor, but my diet sucked. I was basically eating asparagus and cold salmon every godforsaken day, and I hated it so much. And following the competition, I gained 20 pounds for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons, of course, was that I was really freaking excited to eat somewhat normal food again. And I tell you this because having a diet that you can actually stick to is key. The other thing to creating a healthy diet, and I know this may be a little backwards, is the ability to get back on the horse when you've fallen off, or is the wagon, the horse or the wagon, I don't really know. Because in January or any other time that you set a goal, you will eat things that are not in alignment with the intentions that you set. No one is going to do the diet piece for you, and no one is going to be as hard on yourself as you are. So practice kindness to yourself and eat nutritious food that both satiates you and leaving you wanting to make the same decision tomorrow. Okay, number 3, 1, 2, 3, cardio. So the thing about cardio is that it can be summed up in the first point about adaptations, but cardio is one of those things that is abused. It's misdone and it's overdone. And if you want to lose weight and continue losing weight, the best thing to do around cardio is vary the amount and the ways that you do cardio. So if you've been doing long duration cardio for the first 3 weeks, like a half hour to an hour on the treadmill, switch it up and do interval cardio. If you do cardio before your workout, do cardio after your workout. The name of the game with cardio, if you're doing for fat loss, is continue to vary the frequency, intensity, and duration. You will continue making the healthy adaptations as long as you practice those rules. Cardio, let's face it, it gets boring if you're doing the same thing or even a similar thing every day, like 20 minutes of cardio. No. And the best advice that I have here to stay motivated that I like to do is go somewhere beautiful. I like doing my cardio in the woods or outside or open terrain that hasn't really been traveled before, bushwhacking, the whole thing. But you might not have access to that. So just keep challenging yourself with cardio. So number 4, resistance training. Resistance training can look a lot of different ways. So you might be doing resistance training by tossing around kettlebells, you might be lifting heavy weights, or you might be doing resistance band. Whatever you do with resistance training, remember to increase time over tension. And that's a personal training word, so I'm going to break it down. It basically means that if you're doing 3 sets of dumbbell curls with 10 pounds for 20 reps, play around with those numbers. You can increase the sets to 4, decrease the reps to 15, and increase the weight to 12. Playing around with numbers with resistance training in general, no matter what you're doing, is a surefire way to help your body continue making the adaptations that lead to more muscle, which we talked about in point number 1. To stay motivated with your resistance training program, it's important to vary your routine every 3 to 6 weeks. 3 to 6 weeks, vary the routine. This gives your body enough opportunity to adapt, plateau, and be ready and hungry for the next thing you throw at it. And you can do this by varying equipment, hiring a personal trainer like me. I have a link to my consult below. Or varying the intensity of your routine, which I mentioned above. This is also a good time to mention that I have a 5-day workout series available for you for free for a limited time. It's going to be a paid program that I offer soon, so get a hold of it right now if you haven't. So back to it. One thing that I understand about building an effective, long-lasting workout routine is this. It doesn't have to be kill yourself style to be effective. You're not competing in the next strongman or an Olympic level athlete. And don't get me wrong, resistance training should be hard, but you should be able to get through your workout and be mentally able to do another workout the next day if you have it planned. Finally, number 5, the most important topic of all, sleep. You gotta sleep. Without sleep, you're grubby, grim, and you're grubby and you don't like anything. Sleep is important because when it comes to sleep, that's when you build muscle, that's when you burn fat, that's when you metabolize food. Yes, the fat burning process happens when you're sleeping, so get good sleep. 8 hours, go to bed at 10. When you don't have adequate rest, you have a lot less capacity to do things that help you, boom, stay on track. When you have less sleep, you actually have less resilience to deal with the inevitable things that push you off course when you're creating a healthy lifestyle. Without sleep, decisions seem harder. For me, cravings can increase as an ideal source of quick energy, and of course, you have less ability to push yourself through a workout or heal from a workout. I know for new moms and dads, sleep may be like the furthest thing from your reality, but for the rest of you, prioritize sleep. Moms and dads, sleep when your kids sleep. Getting adequate sleep is number 1, because without it, all the work that you do in the gym is absolutely, totally, and utterly useless. So here is your takeaway. Do things that you like to do and that are sustainable for your body. Eat foods that you like to eat. Exercise in ways that feel good to you. If you are not a gym-going type of person, find things that you love to do or join a sports league or exercise in your home. Having a body means taking care of it. So now for that freebie that I mentioned. This is the form that I sometimes use for my personal training clients. So it's like having me in your pocket as a resource, but without actually having me. This freebie is a daily motivation form, a DMF, if you want to, do that with it. And you can use it to see how you're measuring up with the points that go along in this video. It'll help you stay on track, hold yourself accountable. So go to the link below, download it, and use it for at least a week. It is really going to help you with the mental shift of staying motivated. So now, the mental shift that you need to make to be successful in 2020. Here's that number 1 thing. The number 1 thing that will help you make that mental shift. Think about this. Who do you want to be when you grow up? We're focused so often on who we don't want to be, and it's usually our parents, and thereby we end up recreating patterns, and habits that we don't want to have. But if you start making decisions on behalf of your future self, you will be able to reframe your decision-making habits. Start seeing yourself as your ideal self. What are they wearing? What are they eating? What is their daily routine? And decide also what is going to happen if you don't make those decisions for your future self. Will you have poor health as you start to age, like diabetes or high blood pressure? If you don't address your habits now, what will be the impact on your children and the example that you're setting for them? That's a question that you need to ask sometimes. And look, change is hard. It's really, really freaking hard. And change is uncomfortable because your body likes maintaining homeostasis. It likes doing the same thing, eating the same thing, because the energy levels adapt to that. Do your best to push through the discomfort and start becoming the future self that your current self is proud to become. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned because I will be posting content every other week. And remember that the best diet and fitness plan is one that is sustainable. Follow the link in my description below to get your daily motivation form and book a consult with me. Remember, the form is like having me in your pocket. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in a couple weeks.